Folks, Joe and Sal here from the TasteBuds podcast. We are doing our very first live stream episode. Live stream episode when? May 10th?
May 10th. Mark your calendars. Tickets are going to be available soon for pre-sale. There's going to be a ton of surprises. There's going to be guests. There's going to be a premiere that night of... Should we tease it?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet, but
it's
premiere
a big
of something.
One. It's a big one.
Something. Yeah, something very big. We've been teasing it for a while. It's coming finally. The live stream, May 10th. Also, merch is still available for the TasteBuds podcast. Go and get you some. It's available at my website, joederosainfo.com.
Or salvulcanocomedy.com.
And also, we are both on the road doing live dates. We've got tons. We've only got time to name a few. Next coming up will be in Michigan in several cities, and then also in Illinois for several cities, and in New York at the Crane Theater. Anyway, just check out my website, joederosainfo.com, for all the info on that.
Plus Joey Rose's, Rivington Street, Manhattan.
Joey Rose's.
Get a sandwich, affordable, great.
Sandwiches and drinks.
I'm on the road with the guys. This is our first tour since before the pandemic, our 5th international tour. Tickets are on sale right now at impracticaljokerslive.com. There's tons of cities and tons more will be added. Next up, March 24th in Green Bay, the 25th in Milwaukee, the 26th in Rosemont. Then we're going to Seattle and Portland in April, as well as Bangor, Maine, and Boston again. And then later on, so forth, it's a lot of Ohio, a lot of Texas, 2 in St. Louis, ImpracticalJokersLive.com. Brand new episodes of Impractical Jokers every Thursday night at 10 o'clock on TBS and True TV. Season 10 out right now.
Taste buds, they coming to the mic, talking about the food they hate, talking about the food they like. Two fools gonna fight, but only one food can be right. Taste buds, man, yeah, they...
You weren't too tired to go to that party, were you? Oh. Oh, but you mustard.
I knew I was tired.
Folks, I'm here on the TasteBuds pod.
6 minutes away from the...
You want to pick up your mic? We're going.
You were actually going.
Yeah, we're rolling here.
Since when do you start like that?
Huh?
When do you start
I was
like
doing
that?
something different.
Oh, well, then I did. That's why I didn't know.
Oh, okay. I'm just giving Sal shit.
You have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Today, you've been a lot.
On the TASTE
Buds.
Buds podcast. I haven't given you shit. We had Chrissy D's premiere party last night.
Yeah.
And you were not there.
No, I wanted to go, but I didn't know I couldn't until the last minute. And then, bro, I'm tired, man.
I know, but I've been giving you shit about not going to that.
Yeah.
But then you started talking about how you went to the De La Soul premiere, the streaming premiere party.
Which was a week ago, yeah.
Yeah, and I was saying, well, you found the energy to go to that, didn't you?
Well, 2 things on that. I was already very close by in the city when it started.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't yesterday. I was not even around. And the other thing is, I had someone that I was meeting up with from Atlanta that was here. So, you know, I had to kind of do that.
Okay. How was the party? Thanks for bringing me, by the way.
No +1, babe.
No +1?
You had to see the scene outside. People, they were just being so strict about it. It was weird. It had nothing to do with De La Soul. Amazon ran it all.
Oh,
and,
well, that's always good.
And it was just like the suits, like as far as like the party itself, like the lists and stuff. And it was a
Why
scene.
did Amazon run it?
Because I think they were I think they were they had a play in like the streaming.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, hey, it's great. I'll tell you that
it was great.
So
it was
weird that
the amount of people there was amazing. It was great.
It's so weird that Dove passed as the streaming thing was about to happen.
I know.
And it almost seemed like the streaming thing it wasn't, but it almost seemed as if like they did it as a celebration of his life.
It became a celebration that night. But
yeah,
it was crazy timing.
But I mean, what a treat having not. I thought it sounded for a second that I said what a treat about him passing.
No, continue your sentence.
That's not what I meant. Obviously, what a. Can we cut that?
Are you nuts?
What? Am I being crazy?
Yeah, really.
Okay, sorry. I didn't know.
Just finish your thought.
My thought was, what a treat to have all those albums now.
Unbelievable.
I feel bad saying what a treat in the light of also having lost such a pillar of.
But you said what a treat to have access to the albums. Mike Finoia is our guest today.
Yeah, Mike's here. I was getting to it.
Wow. No, this was fantastic. I wish you didn't even bring me up.
No.
It's like watching an old couple on a bus.
Oh, yeah.
I was getting to it.
Hi, buddy.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
I'm great. How are you?
Did you get that at the event?
No. Oh, yeah, I was Sal's +1. No, I got this. I watched Maceo say that they got all their merch money.
Yep.
So I hopped right online and bought merch.
Is that new?
Brand new.
They got the store up now. Yeah, I
Brand
like
new.
that shit up there, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so why did you say you bought, because before we started recording, you said you waited till March 3rd.
Well, because March 3rd was when their stuff went live. It was just a.
Oh,
I was just
okay.
kidding. Yeah, the streaming.
That's a
thing.
terrific fit. That could blind that fit.
I like it. Yeah, it's a large, and I'm normally kind of nervous about that, but I don't know if I should wash it. It's one of those.
Okay.
I'll have to wash it and like hang dry.
Well,
or
also
whatever.
too, that's a hip hop large,
I know.
which I
but
would
it's
think
not.
would run a lot bigger.
Right. That's
Right.
why I got large. That's why I didn't get extra large. But I totally could have
No,
gotten
but
it.
that's the opposite of what I'm saying. Oh, I see what you're saying. The large. Okay, yes, yeah, we're saying the same thing.
I'm a
Sorry.
weird thing where it's like I'm always an extra large width wise, but then I get it and it's too long.
Yeah.
And if I get a large, it's the right length, but it's tight. So I was gonna just get an XL and shrink it, but I thought hip hop. Right, exactly.
All right.
But yeah,
I have no consistency in what I order at all. It's always a shot in the dark. But anyway, back to the show.
Thank
It was
you for having
amazing.
me.
It was really
You're
cool.
welcome for
It was
being
cool
here.
to be there. I'll be right with you. But it was cool. It was Queen Latifah and Moni Love came out and
I
did
saw
something.
the clips. Yeah.
Mike G of the Jungle Brothers was there. Common.
Did anybody?
Pharoah Monch. All the originals.
Did
all
they
the DJs
perform, or did they just come out and like kind
performed.
of?
A lot of them performed. Yeah,
So who performed what? Did Monch do?
he did.
Ba-ba-ba-ba?
Simon Says, yeah.
Did Latifah do Ladies First? Any of the
She did.
Classics?
She might have done that, but she definitely did,
UNITY?
she did that. Yeah.
Moni Love, Lil Moni in the middle.
Yeah.
Jungle Brothers, straight out the jungle.
He didn't do anything. I don't think.
Nothing. Tribe.
So Q-Tip was there, and so was Busta, but they didn't perform. I didn't even see them, but
Beat Nuts.
my friend told me
By any
that
chance?
they were not
They
there.
were
no.
native tongues.
They did. We had Red Alert,
Okay.
and
Very
you had
cool.
the originals. You had Tony Touch. You had Medina.
Tony Toka.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had all those guys.
Who's
there.
Medina?
Rich Medina,
I don't think I know Rich Medina.
the DJs. You had who were the originals? I mean, was
What do you mean by the originals?
Oh, they go by the original. Like there's like 4 or 5 DJs. there
Oh, they were like a crew.
Yeah, they do. Like yeah, they
Oh,
call
I didn't
themselves
know
the
that.
Originals. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you know the originals, Mike?
No. New York guys, Hot 97 got like the early days,
Guys
Red
from
Alert
here,
and all
yeah,
them.
yeah,
Yeah.
But
I don't know their names.
I'm totally forgetting. I wrote.
And Chappelle jumped up and did like the countdown to
Chappelle was there. Yeah.
like right in the middle. Like
Okay.
Paz had the mic and was saying thanks to everybody, and then Chappelle
Yeah.
got in and thanked them. And then
Wait,
did
so
the
you were
countdown.
there?
I watched it online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did-
Black Sheep, Dre's of Black Sheep was
Did-
there.
did-
Black Thought performed.
Did Drez perform?
He did.
Choice is yours, I assume.
He did. Yeah.
Did
Black Thought
did
performed.
Paz and
Kid
Maceo
Capri was there. Clark Kent, Stretch.
did Paz and Maceo do any De La songs? They must have, right?
Didn't they do Buddy?
Yeah. Yeah. They didn't do. I mean, it was mayhem in there, but it was they did do something. I was up in the balcony for some of it, so I couldn't.
I was just at a party that Stretch Armstrong was DJing, and it's so cool that he's still out there DJing parties
Yeah.
in New York. Like,
Yeah, it's nuts.
I love it.
Wasn't Maceo doing some stuff in the East Village a lot, or Alphabet City? Like I thought, like Sunday
I
nights
think
he
so.
would do.
Dante's friends with
Yeah,
Maceo.
yeah.
Really?
And
Yeah.
yeah. And I think because I think that's how they maybe met. I might be
I
wrong.
think
but-
so. And Stretch and Babito, were they there? Those guys? That's Dante and I would sit in his Jeep outside of like Stand Up New York, and he would just play me old, like he had like old tapes of Stretch and Babito, like that show.
Babito. Yeah, I don't know if Babito was there, but
I feel like that show was like, and I never got to hear it because I didn't live in New
Me
York.
neither, yeah.
But I feel like that show was kind of like one of the original podcasts because you knew it as the two. You know what I mean?
yeah, it was a big
It was
shoot
like
show.
you knew
Yeah.
it as these two
Right.
co-hosts. It wasn't a morning zoo kind of thing. It wasn't a morning radio kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like a prototype for podcasting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They probably would have went on such a tour, even though Dave didn't like the tour. I bet they would have done one big tour after all the music went.
I saw them live a few
streaming.
times.
Me too.
It was fun.
I can't believe I didn't mention this last time. I did student affairs for my college. I was on the board, the events board, and I was in charge of music, and I produced the De La Soul show. They came to my school.
You didn't mention that all last
I
week.
can't believe I forgot about
No
to
shit.
say it.
Wow.
They
That's
came
awesome.
to. Yeah,
Did you meet him?
Yeah, they came to my school, my Kutztown University, and I produced the show. Meaning, like,
Booked them.
You booked.
yeah, I booked it, and I had to oversee everything. And I was a kid; I didn't know what I was doing. And the food, like, their rider requested certain things, and I got the things made by the cafeteria, which was really shitty. But I didn't know any better. I thought that's just what you had to do.
Right.
And their road manager was not happy about it. Like, he was kind of like, "What is this, man? Come on." and I went to De La Soul and apologized profusely, and they were so fucking cool about it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And especially,
how are they gonna treat you? Honestly,
well, they could have been dicks.
really? To a kid?
People came to the school that were dicks.
It's the manager's job to be the dick. They're not
You
gonna
know,
be the dick.
they
Yeah.
were, but they were. It wasn't
genuinely nice.
It wasn't that they were just like, don't worry about it. They were literally like Positive was like laughing.
He's like, you want me to eat 2 sandwiches? I'll eat 2.
Yeah, and he was like, hey man, shoot the guy in the back who fucked it up, man. Like, you know, and he was like laughing. Like, they were really, really nice. They put on an amazing show.
Yeah.
That was the standout. I had 2 standout hip hop events at my school. That, and then Ice T came and lectured when he was doing his college lectures. And I met.
Lecture about what?
He just talked about life, like his experience and his philosophy and his take on things and whatever. And I had the coolest moment. It was the catalyst for my professional career in performing. Ice-T, when I was...
Ice-T was the catalyst for you having a career in performance?
Yeah.
Please continue. I
don't like the energy you come in with.
How have I not, how do I not know this?
Well, it wasn't like he made a phone call for me.
No, but I mean, he inspired you.
He threw his towel to you down the hallway.
He gave me the he gave me the most inspiring thing I've ever received. Because when I was 11 or 10 years old, 11, I got Ice-T.
Which one is it?
I got Ice-T Power, the cassette Ice-T Power. It was stickered. It was the first stickered album I ever got. My mom made me listen to the entire cassette with her.
Sticker meaning explicit?
Yeah. And she approved of it because she said he taught a lesson.
You listened to the Ice-T album explicitly with your mom,
entire
and then she approved it afterwards because it was a message.
She goes,
message.
I don't like the language, but he teaches a lesson. I'm going to let you keep this record. And she did.
I remember blasting 2 Live Crew in my room,
Jesus.
and I'll call it,
yeah.
I'll call it 7th grade maybe.
Yeah.
And I just blasted it. My mom would freak out. She'd be like,
dude,
what are you listening to? You can't believe you're listening to this music. Like, you shouldn't listen to this. This is terrible and everything. And I was like, Ma, it's just a song.
Oh my, that was like, I wasn't like allowed to have that.
Yeah.
So Ice-T came to my school and spoke. Me and my friend Pat Knowles went. Me and Pat had a rap group at the time. And we were obsessed with Cool Keith.
Name of the rap group?
Yeah.
The One Ones. What's the name of the rap group?
The what?
The One Ones.
Like
I know you drew it on your notebooks. What did it look like?
Well, no, I'm sorry. I correct. I'm sorry. Excuse me. That was the original name, and then we changed it to Stevie and the Example because he was Stevie and I was Example.
You were Example?
Yeah. Which at the time I thought was a cool rap
how many
name.
X in Example?
Yeah.
Just one.
Oh, all right.
But it was EX dash because I was like Excalibur, like.
Got it. Completely.
And you would
understood.
come on a verse and be like, yo, this is Example.
I would say EX Caliber.
Oh, that's great. That's so funny. Yo, I go by the Example. And he's like, and I'm Stevie.
No, the reason Pat was Stevie, he would call himself MC Stevie, was because he always, when we started doing it, he said he wanted to sample the Deer Hunter when they're playing Russian roulette, and the guy's going, "Do it, Stevie, do it, Stevie,"
Nice.
and he was like, "I want to sample that before my verse comes in." We never did. Anyway,
Half our listeners probably don't know what you're talking about.
yeah. Oh, yeah, right. But anyway, we went to see Ice-T speak, and I was telling Pat, Stevie, I go, dude, this is the guy that made me want to do music. Like, this is the guy that made me want to do it. Like, I can't believe we're going to actually be in the same room as him.
Right. Were you like, hello, Mr. T, I'm the Example?
Well, I'll get to it. I'll get to it.
You.
I go by Example.
I didn't want to tee him off.
Okay.
Come on.
I don't know what you're looking for there. I don't know what you're looking
I was
for.
looking for folks.
Oh, folks. I'll give you
on,
folks on that.
Babe.
Folks.
Come on, babe. Anyway, so we went in and we were obsessed with Cool Keith. It was when Cool Keith at the time had put out the Dr. Octagon record and Dr. Doom and whatever. We were obsessed with him. Real avant-garde rap. We were obsessed. And Ice-T did a Q&A. So this is 2 parts. Ice-T did a Q&A is the first part. I raised my hand. He called on me. And I said, Ice, I just want to know what you think
You call
about.
him Ice?
Yeah.
You went first name right away.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ice.
What do we call Mr. T?
No, actually, I would.
Mr. T? And
I
then
don't
he
know.
said,
Some people
Mr.
call him
Ice-T.
T before Ice.
No, I said Ice. I don't know. I just called him Ice.
No, I think that's all right.
I introduced my buddy to Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he was like, hi, Mr. Cold.
Mr. Cole?
Was he being funny?
Oh, in Berge.
What?
Was he being funny?
Yeah.
That's great. That's
Mr.
really.
Cool,
if he
yeah.
was being funny, that's
Yeah,
really
it was
funny.
being funny. And Bergio.
So I said, we just want to know what you think about Cool Keith. And these guys in front of us started laughing at us. And they were like, Cool Keith, who the fuck are you talking about? Like, and they were making like,
Yeah.
and Ice-T goes, Cool Keith's the illest motherfucker alive. And we were like, what? And he goes, I got an album coming out with Cool Keith. And we were like, what? You know, it was like
Wow.
mind blown, right? That was an awesome moment. But then
I would have been like right to the people in front of me, like, you fucking bitch.
Yeah.
well, you wouldn't have.
Joe went Excalibur and walked out.
Anyway, so then after the show, I was like trying to talk to him, and they kept taking him, like his team was taking him to different doors because they were trying to avoid getting like mobbed or whatever.
Yeah.
And I like figured it out where they went, and I found them outside, and all these guys were around him giving him demo tapes and stuff.
For sure.
And being like, Ice, put me on, all this stuff. And he was like, cool, man, cool. He was being gracious, but you could tell it was a little like, and then he just turned and looked at me. I was standing like this, and I turned and he looked at me. And I was so nervous. I was shaking. I was fucking shaking. And I go, Ice, I don't have a demo tape to give you. I don't want to ask you for any favors. I just want to tell you, I've been listening to you for half of my life, and you're the person who made me want to do music. And he grabbed my hand, and he pulled me in, and he goes, that's what's up. So then do it. Get out there and bang some fucking heads.
No.
I swear to God.
No.
And I go, okay, Ice, I will. And he was like, all right, yeah. And then he just turned
at the table and started putting your
and
head
then he
through
turned,
windows.
and then I heard him go, all right, so we're going to a strip club. To like his boys.
That's awesome. He just
That's
sends
so
you
funny.
off
You
in a
walked,
fury.
you walked away from him and you're like, I now go by the example.
I used to have to have my friend.
That was your
I used to have my
That,
friend.
origin
that
story.
inspired me. That filled my sales for
That's
years.
amazing.
Yeah.
I met T on South Beach on New Year's Eve, and I just said, Happy New Year, T, and he went, Happy New Year, brother. And that was it. And I was like, yeah.
So
And
he
that was
went
my
T.
only.
He went T.
I said T. But I used to have
I
to
played a
give-
video game with him once.
with T?
What?
Yeah.
Where?
Xbox launch party.
This is.
Jeez.
I love you. I love you.
7 degrees of iced tea.
Like family. I love you like family.
Terrific.
We are family.
Yeah.
When we're here, we're family.
Yeah. We're like,
Wouldn't you say?
It's the OGs.
But this is what I hate about you. No matter how good your story is, Sal's like, well, actually, I went to
No,
his
I don't
house
do
for
that.
Thanksgiving.
I don't do that.
Because you're
I'm
so
not that guy
much
that's
more famous. I'm not saying you
So
one
good.
up.
I'm not that guy who's like, I have a better.
So, 'cause I didn't
I'm
tell you
not-
T was my confirmation sponsor?
Yeah. I'm not saying you one up. I'm not saying you do it to one up. You just always
Uncle T?
have a heavier. You always have a heavier story.
I didn't
we call
remember
him
that
T.
until you. I don't remember that until you brought it up. But how is mine any different? You talked to him. He inspired you to perform. Why is mine? Why is mine better than
your
yours?
name. That's pretty incredible, man.
No, he didn't change my name.
Well,
he,
in your mind, you know, he gave you the power to,
he gave me the power.
to change the name.
The power.
The
Now,
power.
Joe, do you have a favorite rhyme you've ever written?
And can you do it?
Pimp, why are you starting shit? Why do you stir shit up? He comes in today. Shady Rays, folks. Shady Rays. Shady Rays are durable, built to tackle all of life's outdoor adventures. These are sunglasses that are just as good or even better, potentially, in my opinion, than the expensive ones. And you're getting them for a fraction of the price. That's why I point out the expensive ones. Rays have polarized lenses for crystal clear vision and strong sun protection. That's the real test of a good pair of sunglasses.
How about this? Every pair of Shady Rays is backed by the industry-leading Lost and Broken Replacements Program. Break or lose your pair, the second you take them out of the box, they will send you a replacement pair free. That's just good business.
Right. Shady Rays isn't happy unless what? Unless you're happy.
correct.
Okay? That's why they're giving you 30 days to try them out. If you don't like them, you can exchange them or return them for free. I mean, come on, guys.
The quality is as good as expensive
Yes.
sunglasses.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I like that the Shady Rays Impact Program works with nonprofits worldwide. So with every order, you're helping have an impact on the lives of children and young adults, like building play sets for pediatric cancer patients or creating adventures for young adults with cancer and MS. You and Shady Rays are making an impact together.
Just
it's
thought it was
really
sunglasses.
nice.
That's even better. What's better than getting one pair of Shady Rays and not worrying if you break them or lose them? Getting two. Go to shadyrays.com/tastebuds and use code tastebuds for a limited time. When you buy one pair of Shady Rays, you'll get a second pair free. That's Shady, SHADY, Rays, RAYS.com/tastebuds, code tastebuds to get a second pair of Shady Rays free. shadyrays.com/tastebuds, code
Taste
tastebuds.
buds. Folks, I have been using BetterHelp for months and months and months and months and months. I can't say enough good stuff about this program. I am somebody who has needed therapy throughout my life. I have needed help in tackling life's problems. I've needed help in reducing the stress, the anxiety that I get from what feels like gargantuan tasks that life presents to me. And BetterHelp has been instrumental in helping me do just that.
And the podcast, because this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Yes, absolutely. It's
Close it out, babe.
I have benefited from therapy, and I want to tell. Look, I could tell you this. I learned recently that I do a self-judgment thing to myself, where no matter what it is I do, good, not good, bad, not bad, whatever it is, I put myself on trial in my head instantaneously and tell myself that I'm wrong.
Well,
on
this
all
is not a
counts.
slight against BetterHelp, but I could have told you that for free. If you're thinking of starting therapy,
but no, I'm saying like I do this, and one thing that's helped me with BetterHelp is not just finding a therapist that can talk to me about this, that is helping me learn to not judge myself in those ways, to help me understand that the entire world isn't speaking about me illy at all times. Okay, it has allowed me to do that in an understanding and accommodating way where the schedule is flexible. I can do it on my phone at the last minute. We can switch over and do a Zoom if we want.
it's entirely online.
It's amazing. He sends me worksheets, all these things. It's all in the app. It's an incredible, affordable service. It's great.
If you're thinking
BetterHelp
of
is great.
starting therapy, why not give BetterHelp a try? You just fill out the brief questionnaire, and they match you with a licensed therapist. And you could switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Discover your potential with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/tastebuds today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/tastebuds.
My favorite rhyme I ever wrote was I'm not going to rap it, but I'll recite it. It was
Ooh, then we'll wrap it in the style that we think it is.
Yeah.
Everybody will. Everybody will. It's going around the table. Okay? We're passing this around the horn. Give us the lyrics. Give us the bars.
I don't, what kind of beat?
What kind of beat, Joe? Going through his.
Wait, hold on a second. I got to remember this second to last line. Hold on a second.
Give us an example.
I'm fucking. No, I'm not gonna rap over.
Let's
this.
go, baby.
I'm blanking on. I can't remember the key line in it. Yeah, forget it.
No.
Sorry to disappoint, guys.
You're ready to go, man.
I'm sure you were. The beat's not
Make
helping
one
me
up.
remember.
The beat's
I'm actually kind of embarrassed that I can't.
Dude, so many careers ago, though. I mean, you got to give yourself.
Like, did you have a verse that was about a concept?
It was,
or your
it was
name.
one career ago.
Well, sandwich career, comedy career, podcast.
I remember I
career.
had a lot of like movie references, and I remember I had a Star Wars reference before like everybody on Earth referenced Star Wars because this was like '98. So I felt like I was kind of still.
Before Luke Skywalker?
Before George Lucas.
I remember I said I ripped spots on Tatooine with androids and bounty hunters. I thought that was a cool line. That's fun. And at the time, it was like a cool line.
Okay.
Because
What would that rhyme with?
that's what I can't. I can only remember like one of the lines. I
Okay.
can't remember the other lines.
Who produced this? Who had the beats?
Me and Stevie produced all the beats.
On what?
Well, no, that's not true. We had
On
a
what?
guy.
Tandy?
No, we had
On a Casio?
No, we had computer programs and shit that we produced.
Yeah,
on.
90s.
But initially we had a guy that we worked with. His name was Brian, and he produced a lot of the beats. And then when we got out of college and started doing stuff after school again, Pat and I bought equipment and stuff. Dude, I was gonna do this. I maxed out credit cards to buy production equipment. Like I shopped, I had a demo CD at the time of beats I produced that I would shop around to local music studios in
love to hear
Philly,
Yeah,
like
I
trying
wanna
to
hear
get
this.
like a gig as a producer, like trying to get people to bring me in.
Why don't you do that now? You would sell beats now.
At the shop.
I don't really make them. I still do music, like
Fat
but like
beats?
I haven't made beats in a long
A
time.
beat by Derosa would sell.
But they're not like that's the problem is like the beats that people like now are so not like the beats we did then.
Yeah, but you don't know.
Speaking of
You
beets,
can't-
I had a
but
lovely
we may
salad
love
yesterday
it.
with goat cheese and pistachio.
Old school heads. might
Orange
love
and
it.
red
think
beets.
so?
I would. I want to hear
Babies?
it.
It's my least favorite beat on the salad on planet Earth.
Really, I love
The beet salad is
I love
I don't
a
like
beet
beets.
salad.
I hate
revolting. It
beets.
smells like feet. It's
I juiced
disgusting.
beets and I thought I was shitting blood.
I know.
Yeah, that happens.
Woke up
Kreischer's
my
got
wife
a
in, like,
great
the mid-
story about that.
Really?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. I'm
No, I
sorry.
just woke my wife up in the middle of the night and I was like, I don't mean to wake you up, but I think I'm dying. And she's like, she went in the back, like I had left it in there, like the whole thing. And she's like, beets, dude, they're beets. Remember, we got a juicer and we've been juicing beets all day. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like,
Kreischer told me that he went to Stanhope's, like
uh-huh.
compound or whatever. Yeah. And he
I've been
said they
there.
partied all night, and then the next morning they had to fly together, and Stanhope made them shakes. And he drank the shake, and then he went to the bathroom, and he came out, and he was like pale, and Stanhope was like, "What's the matter?" And he goes, "Well, I have to stop drinking. I just shit blood." And Stanhope started laughing, and Bert's going, "It's not funny." And Stanhope goes, "There were beets in the shake. Relax." and I go, "What happened then?" He goes, "We went to the airport and got fucked up."
Oh God, those
Beets
two.
are the asparagus of shit. Like, it goes right down
Oh,
in.
dude.
Like, it's quick.
Ah, you know, it's funny you say this, right? I had a little meal just now, right before we started, but I just had it. And then I went to the restroom before we started here. So I ate, and I went to the restroom 1 minute later. And my pee smelled like asparagus already.
Yeah,
That's just instantaneous.
It's weird. It's like pregnancy. It's like COVID
How does it
test
do that?
quick. I think, what is it? If you have the enzyme, it doesn't, right? If you have the
Acid in asparagus.
Yeah, but immediately, though.
I want to hear your.
Sometimes I pee and I go, oh, I had asparagus? I don't even know.
Did you ever?
Oh wait, I
did
just
you
remember
ever-
one of Stevie's cool lines.
What?
I just remember one of Stevie's cool lines.
He was
Let's
sitting there
hear
in
it.
silence.
He
He
goes,
was sitting there in silence, just like this for a while.
He goes, when it rains, you're who I'm blaming. Your man had a couple drinks and thinks he's Matt Damon.
Wow.
I was like that.
When it
line.
rains. Wow.
I don't get it.
Huh? What
I don't get it.
What do you mean?
When it rains,
Yeah.
you're who I'm blaming?
Blame it on the rain. Yeah.
Okay. Your man's had a couple of drinks.
What an asshole.
It's a college.
We
man.
wrote these when we were 18.
Why am I an asshole? I'm literally trying to understand it. I'm trying to. I was
It just sounds cool.
but I didn't catch the Milli Vanilli reference. I'm sure they didn't either because they don't know it. But I was connecting.
Oh no,
Matt
when it
Damon
rains,
to
that's what
rains.
I'm sorry. When it rains, that's what I'm blaming. Blame it on the rain.
Oh,
When
that's
it
a
ra-
little more clear then. isn't
Sorry.
it? Also, I was connecting Matt Damon to Rain, and I was like, "Am I missing? Was he in The Rainmaker? Right? He was in a movie called The Rainmaker.
Yeah, he was.
Right,
That-
so
but that
I'm
could
sorry.
be.
I'm
You
sorry.
might have
for-
just
I'm
leveled up
sorry for
Stevie's
being-
rhyme.
I'm sorry for being invested and interested in what you had to say, and to continue the conversation about it.
That's enough.
I brought you guys.
You're on some shit today, bro.
I'm not.
You think everyone's against you?
I always do. And they usually are. Let's
I'm
be
not.
honest. They usually are.
I know, but I'm on the other end of this couch a lot, and a lot of times I'm not, and I get pegged to be that.
I don't mean to peg you.
I'm in your crosshairs a lot, just by inherently I'm in your crosshairs.
Do you feel less like
and
a
you're
man?
only 50% accurate, probably.
I feel like less of a man when I peg you? It's a peg.
Not really. It's
All
actually
right.
empowering.
Look how nervous Finoia
I brought you.
is.
I'm not nervous. I'm just watching. I brought you guys. A gift.
I'm just listening.
I brought you guys a gift.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, let's get to the food part of the show.
Well, when I was a kid, I used to have to give my friend his my hip hop tapes and CDs, and he would have to make me copies, and I'd have to label them like Rolling Stones' greatest hits or the Beatles, because my
Really?
parents wouldn't let me have
Really?
it. Yeah, totally, absolutely. And then I'd listen to him in my headphones, and I would be rapping, and my mother's like, "What's that?" And then I'd get caught and have to listen to the whole thing with her. And I remember Naughty by Nature, OPP, was on a late night TV show, and I asked to stay up to watch it, and she had to stay up and watch it with me. And she's like, "What does OPP stand for?"
Property.
I said problems. And then whoever the
What does though?
other people's
sometimes, yeah.
problems, yeah.
Property, isn't it?
Sometimes it's both. Sometimes it's. Doesn't he say it's all three?
Yeah. It's kind of like,
Yeah. All right.
yeah. So luckily he said it because I didn't want to, obviously I was nervous. But this is one of my favorite. I know it's all about favorite foods. I brought you guys one of my favorite snacks.
Have you ever had
They're
these?
prosciutto and provolone stuffed hot cherry peppers.
Absolutely love.
Have you ever had these?
Yeah.
They're one of my
I
favorite
had
things.
I had one
on
this
earth.
week.
There are
There's no
sandwich shops
silverware.
in Philly
Did you
that
guys
put
ever
these
have
on the
any-
sandwich.
That's amazing.
Please help
Wild.
yourself.
Want to take a look?
Yeah, I'm not gonna eat it now. But yeah.
They're very oily, but they're unbelievable. And there was
I had this week.
there,
They were
You
red
guys
though.
ever
They were
had
red.
these?
No.
Please help yourself. There's
I want to watch you guys eat them for the first time.
Okay.
here.
I'm serious.
Fucking
There's no
delish.
cameras on us, but I'll
I
do
know,
it.
but
We'll do it after the show.
I want to see the delight when you fucking taste this for the first time.
It's so good. And you know what? There was a smaller jar, but I was afraid there wouldn't be enough in case you guys liked them and you wanted more than one.
Wow.
So I got the biggest one they had.
Wow, I don't think anyone's ever come with a gift.
Well,
Thanks, Mike.
By the way, Mike Finoia, a hysterical comedian, dear friend, and also longtime staff member on Impractical Jokers, right?
that's right. Yeah, yeah. Half of season 5 and 6 with the producers, and then inside jokes since then. Still
Yeah.
doing it. An after party.
Yeah, if you
And
guys
touring.
watch. Yeah, after party, Mike's on, and if you watch Inside Jokes, he's the one that writes all the inside jokes.
I'm the one that writes the bubbles. I text you every now and then.
Yeah,
Very weird. I
you
think
do.
about sometimes.
I feel
how-
like I let you down sometimes. I'm
a
sorry.
little bit,
You
but
know?
no, you know who's quick to reply? I'll text Murr and he'll call me back. That's like he's the quickest to
That's funny.
reply. But yeah, please try one of those. I think you'll love them. But yeah, no, sometimes I just think about how weird those texts must be when you get them.
Yeah,
We're
you're
just
just
out
like-
of nowhere. It's like,
It-
did you
they're
ever
the-
ride a pony? Like
yeah,
out of
yeah,
nowhere.
that's literally what they are.
Straight-
And I'm like, one time. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, and we've done the road together for years.
A ton. Yeah. Mike comes on tour with us, me and the Jokers, actually.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been so much fun.
Right on. And you've never been on TasteBuds yet, right?
No, it's my
Right
first
on.
time.
First
So I came with a
time.
gift, so maybe there will be a second.
That's really nice.
No one's ever brought a gift to your. Really?
I don't think so.
That's strange.
I mean, Magnolia gave us cupcakes once.
Yeah, but they weren't on the show.
Right.
They just like.
I just
yeah.
thought about this because I was like, do I bring? Because there's great pastries and Italian, whatever. But I thought this is something you could keep in the fridge.
I'm obsessed with those
Are you
things.
garbage brought pastries? Remember that?
Yes.
Okay,
That
those
is
are good
right.
dudes.
Very good dudes.
Yeah,
yes.
of course. Foley and Kevin are amazing.
My fault. We got to have them back on.
I've made my own shooters at home.
You have.
I've made them. Yeah.
You know what? I was
They're
worried
not easy to make. Actually, it's
No.
hard to kind of get it stuffed right.
without cracking the sides.
Yeah. And then it's also the key to a good shooter is you got to have a firm pepper. So they're clearly stuffing those things before they're pickling,
Yes.
and you can't. It's hard to find. I've never found cherry peppers raw anywhere. I've only ever found them jarred, and even then they're tough to come by. And usually when you find them jarred, they're only in rings.
Yeah.
But to find, I don't know where the fuck you get whole cherry peppers raw. I've literally never seen it.
The best thing,
Right? Think about that.
Yeah.
Pimp. One of the best things
Maybe they
about
only do
that
it
right
wholesale? I
there,
don't know.
that jar.
Huh?
Maybe only wholesale.
I try to pull those out with a fork to keep the juice consistent because it's a nice sandwich juice afterwards. That's a great, that's almost like a muffalata type, glazy marinade.
Get that,
for a
spread it
steak.
right on some nice
Yeah.
focaccia or
That's
something
it,
like that.
right? Yeah. It's
Guys,
re-
eat one.
Okay.
Please help yourself.
He's nervous.
It's a cherry pepper stuffed with prosciutto and provolone.
It's got a
sharp
kick. It's
provolone.
got a kick.
Here, there's
Hot.
there weren't forks, but I grabbed whatever coffee stirrers in there if you want to.
Nice, thanks.
So you can almost skew it.
Okay.
That's so nice. And we're not even doing that today because of you. We realized we have never done. You love breakfast all day. You're a big fan of breakfast all day.
Oh, and yes,
And
I'm a
then,
big breakfast.
are you
fan.
lunch or dinner?
Lunch.
I thought so. Yeah.
Lunch. But honestly, lunch is truly my favorite meal. Favorite meal, which I'll get into. And then your dinner. Now, you thought we had done breakfast and dinner before.
Which I'm giving him props for. We never done any of these.
Right.
And today we're doing a 3-way battle: breakfast versus lunch
Hell
versus dinner,
yeah,
which I
man.
really like.
Yeah. But I realized why you thought we did that. Because we did brunch. And I think we did morning versus evening. And we've done foods that fall into both categories.
Yeah.
So
I was
we've
shocked to see that we've never done it.
Yeah, but we've never done the concept.
And
of
you were
these
like, let's do
meals.
breakfast versus dinner. I'm like, No, man, there's 3 of us. Let's do breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Are we ready to?
So good.
You all right?
So yum.
Not too impressed.
I like it. Just kind of like oatmeal consistency and like slimy.
What?
Oatmeal
Give
consistency.
something to Mike to ruin. It's so good.
I mean, if you didn't like it, that's cool, but I don't get oatmeal. How do you
Just
get
like oatmeal, like granular. I don't know. I just
Really?
granular?
it's fine, but I would never go and seek this out.
You wouldn't buy a bucket of them as a gift?
Oh,
No.
dude, when you get a nice deli sandwich, have that as a side or whatever.
Yeah, maybe refrigerate
I
it
mean,
and
if you
try
get,
it again.
I've done that. If you eat that on the side of a deli,
Like 1 or 2.
no. I'm not knocking. I'm saying you have to do a careful pairing. Because if you're not careful, you're eating the same stuff in the sandwich as you are the
Yeah.
pepper, and it becomes insanity. Like you need to have that on the side of like a turkey and something, so it's not. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
so it
You,
kinda-
write, you write the book on this
Or
stuff.
like a salami and provolone.
You're the guy.
I'm the guy. I try to be. You're the guy.
I mean, but you are the guy with experience in sandwiches.
Sure, but I mean, I think you know your sandwiches too.
Do you
I
have
know
an,
I feel like you could own a sandwich shop if you wanted to.
Yeah?
Yeah, don't you agree?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like you could too.
Oh, I'll be honest with you, during the pandemic, I thought about it quite a bit.
Oh
I was going to,
I got a place you might be interested in.
Remember the idea I had for a truck?
Yeah. What was it?
S'mores truck.
100%. Yes, you said no one's doing it.
But then we found out people
were
totally
doing it.
doing it.
Didn't I Google it?
Yeah, you did.
You guys, he goes, dude, nobody's doing it. I Googled it. I'm like,
He
I
typed
just-
in s'mores and it filled in truck.
it brought up like 60 s'mores trucks.
We were thinking about cool names for it. I thought Gimme Some Mo was one.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Now I
that's
know
a
this.
good
Yeah.
It's a
name.
great name, right? Would you, if you were on the beach and it was
I
fireworks, whatever, would you
absolutely loathe s'mores.
hate s'mores?
Yeah, you believe that shit?
Wow. That's,
By the way, I can't believe we have never mentioned it. I've never been more justified in my life. I've screamed at Sal about s'mores and how I hate them. But the movie The Menu, Ray Fiennes plays a top tier chef, and his quote,
Psychopath, though.
what he thinks is a blight on humanity is the s'more. And I was cheering watching this thing with Ari Shafir, and Ari's like, "Whoa, what do you say?" And I was like, "'Cause fucking Sal said I was wrong."
Well, you are wrong.
what is it? I mean, I'll have to go back and watch. Have you talked s'mores?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We battled s'mores hard. I forget what we battled them against though.
You guys talked about it on
I tell you.
when you guys talked about the cookies. Remember when you had that big blowout with the what was your famous line that you said on this podcast?
The goddamn Girl Scouts.
Yeah, you guys were fighting back and forth about the s'mores trucks during that battle.
Oh, there were
No,
s'mores trucks.
no.
See,
That's
I put
not
it
true.
into the ether.
That's not true. We were fighting. I said there was no such thing as a cookie truck.
Oh, that's true. My apologies.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I said there's ice cream trucks all over the place.
But I think it was also that episode.
Bro, I don't think we've done. How's that possible? We've definitely done s'mores.
We 1,000% did s'mores because I went on and on about how like they don't come together right.
I'm
and
doing a search. It's not coming up.
I think the only hard thing about a s'mores truck would be like
Rice
the
Krispie treats
consistency.
versus s'mores.
You gotta,
Yeah.
You got to move them quick because they congeal and get weird and crack.
It's a shit food.
I kind of love them.
It's a shit food. It's got the shelf life of
An avocado.
a fucking T cell. It's just forget it. Yeah, I hate them. I hate it. And
There's no cookie trucks? There's got to be some Portland, Oregon cookie station wagon.
we found some,
Yeah.
but that was
It's not in the. It's not.
that was one of the reasons we were screaming is
Got
because
it.
Sal was going, see, there's cookie trucks, but I was like, but there's not cookie trucks.
Let me just put this in. It's time to
BATTLE butts. All right.
breakfast.
breakfast.
Don't get me wrong. I like every meal, right? But we're just I'm saying why is one meal better than the other meal? Breakfast, love it. It starts the day. A lot of people say it's the most important. When I'm in the mood for breakfast, nothing else can quench that except breakfast. I'm a big fan of breakfast all day. Breakfast is great. Toast is one of my favorite things.
Mm-hmm.
Breakfast is terribly limiting, I think.
Ooh.
I think that, you'd be hard pressed to really get outside the box on breakfast. It has its staples, and that's cool. When I don't feel like having breakfast, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like breakfast is like when I don't want eggs, I'm like, oh, get that away from me. You know what I mean? So breakfast is great, but it is limiting. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now, lunch is fun.
Can I pile on breakfast first?
Yeah, please.
It's the first meal to go. It's the first meal to go. It's the first one you cut out of your schedule is breakfast.
You don't think you lop
Absolutely
out
not,
lunch? Heavy breakfast get you to dinner?
Yeah.
No.
Totally, man.
You skip breakfast, you start with lunch.
Yeah, but lunch. Yeah, but then you're gonna be starving by lunch, and you're gonna be full for dinner.
Late lunch, light lunch. Late, light lunch, like I did today.
Why late? Early light lunch. If you're eliminating
I
breakfast,
did a turkey sandwich with tomato, lettuce, no dressing.
that wasn't light.
On rye.
It was that much turkey in that thing.
I didn't feel sick after.
Okay.
Why would you feel sick after breakfast?
Almost exclusively do I feel sick after
What do
that
you eat?
meal.
What are you eating for breakfast?
I had to stop. I had to cut out almost all breakfast foods. Here's why. When I ate like on this what?
Bro, you shock me every day.
When I when I ate the sugary stuff at breakfast, like pancakes or French toast or whatever, my sugar would spike and drop so hard that later I would start shaking where I had to pound like a Coke because it would just cause such an imbalance of sugar in my day. Eggs, bacon, sausage, complete grease, gives me a stomach ache, makes me feel terrible. My breakfast food at this point, if I do breakfast, which I never do anymore, I never do breakfast anymore.
That's crazy.
Is some coffee and maybe some fruit.
That's why you.
I do
that's why
breakfast.
you leave your house with a fucking dude. You got to get your nutrients. You got to get your
and
stamina.
a good
up for
hearty
the day.
breakfast is
Let me ask
just.
you a question though, because you said you like breakfast all day. If you eat breakfast for dinner, aren't you eating dinner? Are we talking about the
come on
times?
now.
Or
No,
are we talking about the food?
I'm talking about the food.
Traditionally, the cuisine in the morning. Because I'll tell you right now, you could eat breakfast for dinner, and I could eat anything at lunch for dinner. But you can't eat dinner at breakfast, and you can't eat dinner really at lunch.
What am
you
I?
wouldn't do it.
I don't want.
You wouldn't eat.
I don't want
disagree.
dinner
You
at
could
breakfast.
scallops
I'm
at
not
10
rolling
a.m.
over at 7 in the morning and giving my wife a kid. Let's go get some meatloaf right now.
No.
I don't want that.
I'm saying, but
But
the
at 6 at
versatility of
night-
dinner to be able to have anything that
No,
you have.
no. That's
Yes.
the beauty of lunch.
It's like when
is
you go
lunch
to
pulls from both
It's
directions.
like
No,
when you go.
that's
It's
brunch.
like when you go to a resort, right? And there's like 3 hotels, and this bracelet can only go there. This bracelet can go into that, and then you pay all the big bucks, and this bracelet can go in all 3 of them.
Listen.
Dinner is the 3rd bracelet. Dinner, I could have
No, that's
anything
not
for
true.
breakfast for dinner. I could have everything for lunch for dinner.
Anything you have for dinner, you can have for lunch. People do it all the time. Look at what businessmen do. Where they go for lunch, they sit down at steakhouses. They have a martini and a steak.
Yeah,
And,
but you're talking about a businessman in a
Greece.
suit with a martini.
but I'm
lunch.
just saying, you could do anything. I've worked in
traditionally,
many a
at
facility. I've worked in many a facility. Okay, I worked with senior citizens a lot before I got into comedy and stuff. I worked.
Was that
with,
before the hip hop career?
you know?
You know, he got rid of that, but then he got a job where he could lead by example.
Okay, all right. He
will say
grabbed
this,
people and
folks.
said,
Breakfast.
"Go crush
breakfast
heads."
is the only meal that you could make into a hip hop name. Be fast. That's it. Anyway, listen. Here. What?
Rin din din.
El Anchi.
You know, I have a great hip hop name. I have a great hip hop name.
What?
I might have told you before. Carte Blanche. Come on.
No,
And then one time I saw it on an independent hip hop flyer.
I don't like
There's
it.
a Carte Blanche, bro. Carte Blanche.
I don't like it.
The name is fun. The whole premise around it is fun. The theme is fun.
You know what hip hop name I always wanted to use? Victor Spoils.
Oh, that's funny.
Victor Spoils.
That's funny.
It makes
To
me
the
laugh.
Victor go. That's nice. There's a lot of you can do a lot with that down the road.
But wait a second.
That's a gift that keeps giving.
I would do Vic Spoils.
Vic Spoils. That actually sounds hard.
You'd be
Yeah.
General
Oh, give it
Malaise
to me, baby.
if you were in the Wu-Tang.
All right, listen. I'm going to go with you on Carte Blanche. All right?
I really
But
wish
I would
you
say
heard that.
Car Blanche.
But why Carte Blanche?
Why Vic Spoils? It just sounds cooler.
Yeah, but Carte Blanche isn't anything. Carte Blanche.
Vic Spoils isn't anything.
Yeah, but it's Victor Spoils.
Car is cart.
Carte Blanche is confusing.
I'm trying to build something with you here. You know what I mean?
You know they go South
Can't you
Bronx,
just-
South Bronx. I figured I always go Carte
Carte
Blanche. Carte Blanche.
All right. I think Car Blanche is kind of cool.
You know the good thing about omelets is that
Wait,
it's a
I
vehicle.
still haven't finished my point. I still haven't finished my point.
Oh, I'm
No,
sorry.
you come in and do whatever you want.
Yeah, no, I
This
just
is it. You don't need to be
I
past
was
the
more
conch.
talking to the.
I didn't finish my
Conch?
point. I
Conch
didn't
or
even
conch?
remember what my goddamn point was. Oh, lunch is any meal. Lunch is any meal. You can do any meal at lunch.
Listen, this whole lunch, but breakfast could be any meal. If you land late and you're whatever, breakfast, lunch, dinner could be at any time of the day.
Oh, I worked
If
at a
you
lot of
work at-
institutions, and they would eat like meatloaf and potatoes and green beans at lunchtime.
Okay.
All right,
At
that's what I was gonna say.
So what? Why are you yelling at me?
Hey, like institutional food.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Sure, but that's a very niche specific thing.
I'm
I'm
just
saying
saying.
this, dude. You're crazy if you think you got to eliminate one. You're not eliminating lunch.
Yeah,
You wake
lunch is
up,
the first
You
to
wake
go.
up. You
Get the
start
fuck
your
outta
day.
here.
You get the energy for the day, and then you finish your day over here. By the way,
If
dinner has the most options. Let's be honest.
Lunch,
No, I
breakfast
don't
is the
think
one
so.
they tell you to get rid of. They tell you to get rid of brunch.
I heard breakfast is the most
I don't
important.
think dinner has the most options.
Skipping breakfast and other meals is one behavior studied as a factor influencing weight outcomes and dietary quality. Based on evidence that skipping breakfast reduces total daily caloric intake, some weight loss recommendations include skipping breakfast, i.e. intermediate fasting, as one strategy to use. Working together once again. Thank you. Carte blanche. Here's the thing. That's the meal they tell you to cut. Breakfast
I
stinks.
don't. No, it does
stinks.
not. No, it does not.
No,
You're
you're
talking
wrong,
about
babe. You're
time
wrong.
zone. No,
For an
eat your
institution
eggs.
like for your beloved McDonald's, after decades and decades and decades and decades to make the turn and say we're now going to do breakfast all day. What does that tell you about breakfast?
Breakfast
it's
is
in
massive.
demand. People want it.
No, I think
there
they-
are so many. There's definitely not less options for breakfast. All the different ways you can do eggs. All the different pages.
There's definitely at least options for breakfast.
Omelets are a vehicle for. I mean, shit. It's a palette. You put anything you want in there.
omelets suck.
No, they don't.
Omelets suck.
You suck.
Omelets
Omelets
are
are
always
overrated.
dry. It's too much eggs. It never tastes right. You got to dress it up with some ketchup. It sucks.
no.
But honestly, though,
Omelets
breakfast is
suck.
the most
Compared to a
limited.
nice scrambled egg omelet.
You don't
suck.
think lunch
Breakfast,
is the most
I could
limited?
name the breakfast foods right now, and I
Let's
can
do
name
it.
I can't name the dinner foods. Dinner foods, it's infinite.
Come on, though.
You got your eggs.
Have you ever-
You got your toast. You got your sausage. You got your bacon. You got your pastries. You got your waffles. You got your flapjacks. You got your French toast. You got your granola. Maybe you got some oatmeal. I'm running out.
Have you ever gone?
Cereals.
Have you ever gone? Let me, and I mean
But
this.
then- but
have
you
you ever
can't-
gone? Have you ever gone? Have you ever gone?
Have I ever gone?
To a, we've all been to buffets. There's lunch style buffets, which, by the way, the lunch buffet is usually lunch/dinner foods. Okay, breakfast buffet. That's absolutely true, and you know it's true.
No, they draw a hard line. They take the lunch foods out.
No,
before they put dinner foods.
no, they do not, Sal.
Maybe
I-
maybe the place you go.
Sal, I go to buffets every time I'm in a casino town. I go to a buffet for lunch. It's the first thing I do. You can get prime rib slice still at lunch. It's dinner foods. What's not there is the breakfast foods. Breakfast buffet is its own thing, okay? But I will tell you this. Have you ever gone to a breakfast buffet? It looks like if Willy Wonka was sentencing you to some sort of nightmare punishment where he's like, oh, you like to eat, do you? Here's cakes and cookies and hams and steaks and eggs and flapjacks and syrups. It's fucking crazy. It's like a lunatic put it together. It is the craziest thing. There's muffins and donuts on top of all that shit. And then cereals. It's bad shit.
Cereals, yes.
Actually, that's
the thing, though.
Cold
because-
cereal is one of my favorite foods of all time.
But you just go cereal, cookies, cakes, donuts, eggs, all these potatoes.
Breakfast
there are
is the
so many,
only
it's the Roy
meal.
G. Biv of
Breakfast-
food. Like you mix those together.
but
and you have so many
dinner's
great
got all that
breakfast,
and more.
Throwing avocado
Breakfast
on
is
there.
the only meal where they slide desserts onto the entree.
What's wrong with
to
that?
the entree list. It's bad shit.
Yeah, it is.
It is
If you
bad
you're
shit.
say the hardest day, you're having a rough day, you call home, you go, let's babe breakfast for dinner tonight. It's just such a nice feeling.
You're saying okay, so you're saying it's like a comfort food.
Yes, it's amazing at any time of the day.
When
if I fly across the country and I didn't get to eat breakfast, when I get to the hotel, I want breakfast.
When
I don't care what time of
I
the
was
day
a
it is.
kid,
I'm
when I
eating
was a
breakfast at
kid-
2 in the afternoon.
When I was a kid, my mom once in a while would go, how about we do breakfast for dinner tonight? And I had to say out loud yes,
You hit
because
her
it
right
was
in the
my
face with
mother
a
and I was a
muffin.
child. In my head, I was saying, you lazy son of a bitch.
Lazy.
You're going to put fucking eggs into it.
No, that was a
lazy.
treat with us.
What was she making for dinner?
Breakfast for dinner was a treat.
Dinner would be, my mom would make fried chicken, meatballs, all of it from scratch, steak, meatloaf from scratch. Breakfast for dinner?
Sitting down
You're
with
going to crack a few eggs into a pan with some bacon? It takes 5 minutes to put together.
No,
And by
it's-
the way, you're not full after either.
Yeah, you
It's
are.
fun.
If you're eating
Breakfast
the
and dinner is fun. I will say this though, I don't want anything but breakfast during breakfast time. I will say that. I will say that. But at
Yeah.
dinner, whatever I feel goes. It's very freeing.
That's right.
Okay, and you don't go to like an important event like a wedding. People don't have a wedding and give out
breakfast
lunch.
food?
They don't.
Wait, what?
People don't have a wedding and give out eggs. The weddings are at night. There's dinner at a wedding.
Wait. Actually,
it's the most
I
important
need
meal.
to disagree with you on this. On behalf of all 3 meals, I have to disagree with you. A wedding, when they pull out the stops, will feature all 3 meals. You've got a cocktail hour featuring lunch-style foods. It's
That's
usually
not true, Joe. Cocktail hours, appetizers,
hors
that are
d'oeuvres,
dinners. They're
salad
dinner.
wrapped in
They're not
bacon.
lunch-style foods.
Sal, it's a lot of, it's cured meats, it's cheeses, it's finger
That's called an antipasto.
which is a lunch.
Yeah, you had
Could
that
be
before.
a dinner.
It's salads, it's things like that. Then
Have
you
salad for dinner.
and then you go. No, I mean
a
salads.
course, it's a
like,
course.
Like you know, but
You're stretching.
I'm not stretching.
You're stretching, Babito,
because
right
then
now,
you
baby.
no, because then you go to dinner. I wouldn't eat a charcuterie for dinner. I eat it for lunch. I eat an antipasto for lunch.
You
I don't
use
eat it for dinner.
charcuterie as a palate, as a amuse-bouche.
Here's my point. My point is you got luncheon meats and stuff being served at the cocktail hour.
You're stretching.
You got mini burgers. You got pigs in a blanket. Those are lunchy kinds of foods. Okay.
I go more dinner with
Then
those.
you go to. I'm about to defend all 3 of these meals.
Okay.
Can I get a credit out for all 3 meals?
I just think that you're
Then you go to-
stretching it, saying that appetizers at a wedding are lunch foods.
I don't think they're appetizers. I think they're finger foods, and I think a lot of the time
It's a cocktail hour.
I think a quesadilla to me, at a mini quesadilla to me, feels way more like a lunch style food than
There's crossover.
But
There's
you
crossover.
can have
So-
that, right? Yeah, as a dinner for
then
sure.
you go
and you can have
and
it
then
as a
you
breakfast.
have traditional dinner, and it's like it's steak, it's a half a chicken, it's a salmon, whatever the hell you get. Then next day,
the breakfast.
hey everybody, we got breakfast. They do all 3 usually at a wedding.
At the event, Joe. Not everybody's doing next day, stay over, have breakfast the next day. I'll tell you what, you work a long, hard day. What are you looking forward to all day? Okay?
French toast.
You're getting out of that office, you're going to dinner. You all day. What are we doing for dinner tonight? What are we doing? Oh, what do you want to do? You want to cook? You want to go out for dinner? You want to order for dinner?
Okay.
Oh, at the end of the day, it's like I can't wait to go home and
I'll give you the flip
And
side
you don't
of
get
that.
excited when you think breakfast for dinner? You don't get excited about that?
No.
breakfast for dinner is dinner to me.
Finoia, if this is your only argument,
No,
you better
it's
step
not.
it up.
No, it's not.
You better
But
step it up because this
breakfast
is going
is one of
nowhere
the
to
only
breakfast
places.
for dinner.
Breakfast is one of the only meals that I will wait in line for. Like I'll go to like a nice like arty breakfast place and wait in line.
Okay.
That says it
to
all,
go
babe.
have-
Who's waiting in line for dinner?
Nobody. I'm not.
Because you don't wait in line for dinner. What are you going to a freaking
What are you nuts? You wait in line for dinner?
fast food?
How many? What are you crazy? How many restaurants you go to? They go. It's a 45-minute wait for dinner. What are you talking about?
None.
Yeah. Well, sorry.
Well, when him and Ice-T when they're done
Yeah.
playing Mortal Kombat.
I'm sorry. They tell you.
he gets his own table because he videotaped himself peeing into the soup in the back for fucking True TV. Anyway, no, but God damn it, you just said something that
Waiting in line.
No. What did you say right before that?
I said that I consider breakfast at dinner.
Oh, let me go the flip side of what you just said about what do you wait for all day at work?
Mm-hmm.
Dinner, so 2 parts to this. Lunch, that's your break at work. You can't wait to get to lunch because you know you finally get out of the office, you get to go get away from it all, you get to eat lunch, and then you go, when I get back, I only have this many hours left and I get to
But that's a
there's
function.
also
That's a
breakfast
function.
breaks.
That's a
There's-
function of downtime, not necessarily the meal.
that's a function
People
of
love a break. It's a break, not as much. It's more than it is the meal.
I when I had a regular 9-to-5 job, I
you had
was
to eat lunch at your desk, or you're like, I can't wait till lunch.
I was excited for
but
it.
it's less.
I was excited
Well,
for
of
it.
course, because you're taking a break from work.
But I will
there's
tell
also
you-
breakfast breaks.
but I will tell
I've
you
done
this.
jobs where there's a breakfast truck that rolls up, and you go out and you
Okay.
get a bacon, egg, and cheese and a coffee, and it's the best thing ever.
But also, I'll tell you this, and this is a strike against dinner. Dinner is the only pain in the ass meal. Dinner is the only meal where you're like, I'm too fucking tired. I can't even think about it. Oh my God, we have nothing in the house. At a lunch, no matter where you are, when you are, if you don't have anything in the house, you go, whatever, let's run to the deli, get a sandwich, whatever. Da-da-da-da. Breakfast, if we got stuff, we'll eat it. If we don't, we'll skip it. Maybe we get a yogurt, whatever. Dinner is the only one where you're like, motherfucker, delivery is 75 minutes right now. God damn it, the supermarket
be a
is
long delivery for
crowded.
lunch.
I'm telling you, dude.
You're bringing up a con for exclusively for someone who is going to cook dinner and realizes they're out of stuff in their fridge.
Dinner-
That's not a realistic. Dinner. You know what I say? Oh, there's nothing in the fridge. Oh, I pull up my DoorDash.
Yeah, and it's the
And-
longest wait times.
No, I just order whatever I want. It's dinner.
But it's the
dinner.
longest wait time.
But I'm not like, God damn it, there's nothing in the house
There's a
for me to cook dinner.
bottleneck. There's a bottleneck that happens with dinner. Who's the guy that wrote Infinite Jest? What's that guy's name? The author's name? The guy that killed himself? David Foster Wallace. That picture is from the speech. He gave, this was majorly viral. He gave a very, very famous commencement speech called, I think it's called It's Just Water or something like that. But anyway, the example he uses in that speech about how self-centered we can all act is when you get out of work and have to go to the supermarket after work to figure out dinner. And the entire self-centeredness of life of this is because the supermarket's mobbed. There's traffic. You're hungry. It's going to take too long. It all revolves around dinner. And it's brilliant, and it's an amazing whatever, blah, blah, blah. Listen to it. But my point is dinner, there is a bottlenecking that happens at dinner time that does not happen at any other meal except for breakfast on Saturday and Sunday. It'll happen.
Church hours.
But you do not have that kind of bottlenecking.
That's bullshit
with
because
those
I used to
other
work in
meals.
an office and any popular place in the neighborhood, when we got our lunch break, we were like, I don't know, I got to hurry up and get down there because I'm going to wait on the fucking line.
And then you
'cause
scarf
everyone's
it
getting
down
lunch
and you
at the
don't
same
even
exact
enjoy
time
it.
as well. As a matter of fact, dinner can happen at 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Lunch is usually happening between 12 and 1, 11:30, 12:30, like that. So there's no greater pinpointed bottleneck
I'll do a 1, 2, 3
than at
lunch.
lunch. I
I'll
used
do
to
a
come
1,
out
2,
and see
3.
people wrapped around the corner to get a sandwich for lunch because that's the time everyone has lunch. So take your bottleneck and put it somewhere else in you. Also, I don't like that lunch can overextend itself. You ever go into a restaurant and it's 4:30 and you're like, oh, I just want to get some lunch. You're like, no. Dinner starts at 5. We stopped lunch.
Well, that's your arrogant ass.
Yeah.
Well, what do you
That's
mean?
your arrogant ass dinner butting its nose in.
No, it's not.
Dinner's got to be the star of the show.
dinner starts
I'm
at-
dinner.
No,
I got to be the only thing on the
No,
menu.
here's your question. Is there a break between breakfast and lunch?
Yes.
You go to get lunch and they go, no, lunch starts in 2 hours because we're in between breakfast and lunch. It only happens
that's not
between
true.
lunch and dinner.
They
That's not
stop
true.
breakfast service for lunch, though,
They
for
stop
sure.
it, but then lunch comes out. With lunch, if you
That's
go
not
during
always
lunch
true.
hours and they stop lunch, there's no food. Like dinner starts at 5 and they just stop the lunch. Lunch can't see you through to dinner.
I have not seen in a long time a
Happened to me
restaurant
last week.
that goes dark in between lunch and dinner.
Oh, dude, it happened. Dude,
I've seen a menu.
Dude,
change.
It has.
No,
I was at a hotel recently
it's
where
everywhere.
they did it.
It's
Yep.
everywhere.
By the way,
shut the place
hotels
down.
especially
That's
Shut
not
the place
lunch.
down.
That's not lunch not being able to overextend itself. What that is a different menu coming in at dinner that needs to be prepped for, and they can't do both. So they need downtime.
But you just told me that you rarely even see that.
I'm saying when that happens, that's what that is.
But why isn't that between breakfast and lunch?
I have no idea.
I go to
Well, then I don't know if the point is that
Okay,
good then.
I'll tell you why. Because it speaks to my point about breakfast for dinner. Because breakfast is a bullshit ass meal that anybody can throw together at any time of day, and it doesn't take any thought or effort.
Let's be honest.
Bullshit
Even though I
meal,
like them,
though?
let's be honest. When you think of lunch, you think of one thing. I think over everything else, and that's
Sandwiches.
a sandwich.
Sandwiches.
Yeah. So I mean,
Omelets.
I love a
easy.
sandwich. A sandwich is one of my favorite foods, like Joey Tribbiani. You watching Friends? Yeah. But you're nothing without the sandwich. You're nothing.
Yeah.
What are you
I'm
so
nuts.
versatile as dinner?
Pizza, sushi,
But those are all dinner items.
salad, soup. Sandwiches are dinner items. I eat sandwiches at dinner all
Breakfast
the
is-
time.
breakfast is
You eat
extremely
hot sandwiches
versatile.
at dinner all the time. What are you talking about?
Breakfast is extremely versatile, and it's also a vehicle for so many great syrups and sauces and all different types of shit that you
When
can
I
throw
say
on
breakfast,
top.
what comes to mind first?
Eggs.
Eggs. When I say lunch, what comes to mind first?
Sandwich.
When I say dinner, what comes to mind first?
Steak.
You can't even name
I just did it.
because
I
it's
just
that
did it.
all-encompassing.
I just did it.
Steak
I just
is
did
not
it.
what everyone thinks when they think of dinner.
I just
Stop
did it.
You both agreed on eggs. You both agreed on sandwiches. No denying it. You could deny steak means dinner. If I say to V, what do you think of when you think of dinner? You know steak?
I would say pasta.
Pasta. Pimp, what would you say? Dinner. What comes to your mind? Okay.
Steak.
That's two
But
for
you know what
steak.
I'm saying. I'm making a good point here.
Yeah, but you could put steak in an omelet. You could put steak and
But
eggs.
you know what I'm saying.
Yes,
the
I do,
options
but
at dinner are such that you can't pinpoint down what is the
There are
main
breakfast menus. There are breakfast restaurants that specialize just in breakfast, and they have just as big a menu as any
But my point was, if you think of breakfast, you think of eggs. If you think of lunch, you think of sandwich. If you think of dinner, it's anybody's ball game, babe.
But that's like saying if you think of meat, what do you think of cow? Like there's so many things
But
you
it's
can
not
do
like
with the
saying
cow.
that.
Kind of a little bit.
I don't know.
I would say.
Eggs-
I would
eggs
say.
is too-
I would say that goes. Go ahead.
No, eggs is to breakfast what cow would be to meat. Like I would say, like there's so many things you could do with that. You can make a burger, you can make sausage, you can make a million different things. Just like with eggs, it's the batter on French toast. There's so many different things that you could do with it. I feel like just
also-
saying
But you
eggs
got-
is
but-
so.
but
It's like,
you got-
it's like
you
saying
got-
sandwich is so like
you got
it could be
steak,
chicken
you got
parm, it
fish,
could be-
you got chicken, you got
It's all breakfast
pasta.
stuff.
You have, I mean, you have.
First of all, when I think of a meal, I see an immediate food spread in my head. That's what I see. When you say dinner, I see all these things together on a thing.
Right.
But I do
point.
that. But I do that with lunch, and I do that. But my point is I do that with breakfast too. My point is with lunch, you're condemning it because it managed to bring a Titan staple pillar food into the mix. You can eat whatever you want for lunch. Nobody cares. Just because they have something that is so representative of the meal doesn't lessen the meal. That is an asset to the meal.
I would say
dinner to me is a gluttonous experience where there's too many choices. And by the way, dinner's the
Too
only
many
meal.
choices is a negative.
Well, but because dinner's a meal where if you don't do it right, you're fucking pissed off the rest of the night.
Yeah, and you're
You're
making
angry
eggs.
about
You're
it.
making
man.
eggs.
You're unique. Does that scenario
am I
exist? People are pissed off because they fucked up dinner for the rest
Tell
of the
me
night.
something. Tell me something.
Can you mess up any meal?
Tell me something. How many lunches? I'm talking. You go out and you buy it. How many lunches or breakfasts have you gone to? Breakfasts like a
Breakfasts.
hobbit. Yeah. How many of those have you gone to in a restaurant or shop or whatever? And when it was bad, been furious. For me, not many. I'm disappointed, but not furious. When I get a bad dinner at a sit-down restaurant, I am furious.
I get mad
Because of the commitment.
Upsetting, I guess. You gotta have a bad meal
Because
anywhere.
of the commitment. Because of the by the way, you want to talk another thing. The upcharge at dinner is absurd.
Yeah.
What they're charging at dinner for these
Yeah.
So you're
foods.
talking about
I'm with
exclusively
you on
dinner at
that.
restaurants, and you're talking about the ones that are doing upcharges. This is, again, very niche. Let's talk about
No,
it from a
because-
biological standpoint.
Wait,
okay?
okay,
If you
all
only have to eat one meal a day, it's either breakfast or lunch.
Yeah,
Your
breakfast.
one meal a day is not lunch, I don't think. You need something. You can't wait till lunch to eat. You know, if you're really trying to be healthy, you get all that stuff in, you get your nutrients, you get your energy and fuel for the day, and you burn it off. Or you waiting all day long, you got to eat dinner at the end of the night to get you through overnight, okay? If there's anything that's expendable, it's lunch.
Look at this. Dinner is generally the most expensive meal of the day. Dinner tends to be a larger meal because it includes appetizers, entrees,
You're
sides,
reading common sense.
desserts,
like
and
it's
drinks.
instructions you didn't know.
This is ChatGPT.
Yeah, it's
is it?
ChatGPT. Yeah. So,
Okay.
but I'm saying, my point is that it just said what I just said. It's a gluttonous meal. It's like dinner. Dinner comes in. Dinner is the man spreading of meals. It flops down. Its legs are wide open. It
dinner.
doesn't listen to anybody.
Are you wild, bro? Dinner is a family institution. It's the thread and fabric of our society as people. People come to break bread. That's dinner. People sit down, families at the end of the day. Dad comes home, kids are home from school. They only have an hour together. You sit at the dinner table and you eat together at the dinner table. It represents more than just an expensive upcharge at a restaurant. Dinner is like anything else. It's a staple in our lives. It's more than that. Lunch is not that.
Yeah, lunch isn't. Breakfast is in second place in that.
I
What you're
agree.
talking about.
I agree.
On Saturday, Sunday, you sit down and eat family breakfast. For
I
sure.
agree.
Do you
I'm
think
so mad
that
at
lunch
I'm
is
looking
made
at
up?
the comments right now, and I'm getting so angry.
Do you
right
think
now.
that lunch is made up of? Do you think that lunch is made up of leftovers more than any other meal? Like, do you think you
100%.
You eat lunch? You eat dinner leftovers.
You dinner
for lunch.
leftovers at lunch, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
you can take
constantly.
my fucking cold leftovers. That's what you're having tomorrow, buddy, for your lunch. My leftovers are good enough for your meal. That's what it's saying.
I love leftovers at lunch, but I do
Me
not
too.
think it's primarily what is eaten for
If
lunch.
you're going to eat leftovers, you're going to probably eat them for lunch.
I would say sometimes, sure, yeah.
Until the early 19th century, luncheon was generally reserved for the ladies, who would often have lunch with one another when their husbands were out. The meal was often relatively light and often included leftovers from the previous night's dinner,
Yes!
which were often plentiful. As late as 1945, Emily Post wrote in the magazine Etiquette that luncheon is generally given by and for women, but it is not unusual, especially in summer places or in
love
town
it.
on Saturday or Sunday, to include an equal number of men.
I love it.
So
Ladies'
lunch
lunch
is the
Now, I
man
never knew
spreading.
what that meant.
Yeah, I didn't know.
That's
knew
what that means.
Yeah.
I love a lady's lunch.
Dainty little lunch.
I only love lunch more
Yeah,
now.
You ever go to eat lunch and see those ladies with the pink hats? You've seen them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the pink
that's
hat
like a-
groups.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
That's
Pink Hat
true.
Society or some shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know about it until I
Red
saw it
Hat
the one time, and I was like, "Yo, did I drop acid?" Like there's 15 old
It's
ladies.
like fancy Amish hanging out.
Yeah. So you all know about this?
I know about that group. Like it's like middle-aged women that get together and wear pink hats.
Why?
Yeah.
Why do they
Hats or
do
whatever.
it?
The pink hat group.
But why? It's just. Is it just?
It's just
I think it's like a thing.
It's
But
like
they
that. It's like ladies' lunch stuff. It's
yeah,
like
but
they
why
get
wear the pink
together.
hats? Why?
I feel if I go to a place and they have breakfast all day, I'm definitely considering that as my
I
order,
agree.
no matter what time of the day it is.
I agree.
And that's why I feel like breakfast is the most versatile and the most go-to. I'm not going somewhere at 8 in the morning and looking for like meatloaf and mashed potatoes. I'm never, but
Well,
I
of
will
course.
go at
Yeah,
9
but you just
o'clock
talked
in the
about
morning.
versatility. You can have anything from your two meals. You can have any of those at dinner, and it's socially completely acceptable and done all the time.
Right.
That's versatility.
I have-
That's dinner.
I have throughout my entire life eaten primarily lunch foods as the first meal of the day, no matter how early it is. I remember being out with it's now his wife, but I was with my friend Jim, who was engaged at the time, and I remember getting into an argument with not an argument, but it got tense because we were visiting, and I wanted to get. His fiance was like didn't want to get pizza for breakfast.
Okay.
And I remember he was like, it was that moment where your boy, like, you realize there's somebody else now.
Yeah.
And he's like, Jess, it's perfectly reasonable that you would not want to eat pizza for breakfast. And I was like, what are you talking about, dude? Like,
Tried to pull his mask off.
that's how much we did it.
Right.
That's how often I did that.
That's
I don't
kind
do it
of
anymore, but
insane.
Can I make another point? You got two experiences in breakfast and dinner that you don't have at lunch for the most part, okay? You wake up in the morning, sometimes you're woken up by the smell of coffee, by the smell of bacon.
Yeah.
You're sizzling. It's like, oh my God, it's breakfast. Smell the breakfast.
that's very nice.
Yes.
Dinner, same thing.
Yes.
You're upstairs in your room, all of a sudden you smell sauce being made
Right.
or whatever's being made. Oh my God, the dinner smells good. You don't, for the most part, you
No.
don't hear, oh, smell the lunch.
Yeah, you hear the cold
I'll
cuts
tell you
being
when you smell
unwrapped.
the lunch. I'll tell you when you smell the lunch.
At Joey
Somebody-
Rose's.
Somebody fires up that grill outside.
Yeah, but
What's-
how often's that happening?
Doesn't matter. We're talking about smell. How often are you waking up to the gentle sense of bacon? It's not happening very
Pretty
often.
often. Weekends or
Yeah,
something?
pretty often.
Well, I live alone.
But it's
Never.
but that's a literal thing that like that's a thing that
Yes.
people.
Well, that
it's
was
a thing.
I also love
I got
coffee.
you. And I would say that the smell of the grill on a summer's day, that's a lunchtime thing, and that's also pretty fucking awesome. And I think that's something that
I also think, and you hit a good point. I love a hot cup of coffee with my meal, and breakfast is that meal. I'm not going to have a cup of coffee with chicken cutlets.
You're right.
I'm not going to have a cup of coffee
It's
with.
I
pretty
will
exclusive.
say that,
It's
that
better
my
for
meal
you to
cannot
have
have
to drink.
coffee.
It's better
But
for
I'll
you to
finish
drink something
my
warm.
meal with a nice cappuccino or a coffee. I'll finish my. No, you finish meals with a coffee.
We have
Absolutely.
No, we definitely
Dinner.
have. Yes.
Lunch is the only meal where you don't really get coffee.
Right.
And I will accept
Strike
that
against
strike.
lunch.
By the way, lunch is going to lose clearly. Dinner is going to win.
No.
I'm
Is it?
telling you. Let's go to the
I
phones.
honestly believe that all three of these, anyone could have any opinion on these, and I thought it was going to be a three-way very close. That's what I thought.
And I'll tell you what, too. It also kind of depends on the life you're living. Because if you're working nights, you may eat meatloaf at 9 in the morning when you get home, take a dump, smoke a cigarette, go to sleep.
I also
you know?
think-
But that's that 9 in the morning is your dinner time. That's the thing.
That's where I'm thinking.
Now
the
you have a
food
dinner for
versus
breakfast.
the dinner for breakfast. Oh, that's the one and only way.
I also think you're sleeping on brunch. It might have impacted lunch and breakfast in general.
yeah,
That's
we
just
could have
hard
had brunch
to-
in there, but brunch lost to.
I don't.
No, it didn't. Brunch beat happy hour, I believe.
Okay,
I'll tell you what I tried to love: an egg on a burger.
Oh, I hate
I
it.
can't do it. I tried and
Not
I
for
hate
me.
it.
Not for
It's
me.
I
just
have
not-
grown
yeah.
to almost entirely hate the egg. Almost entirely.
you like a quail egg over some nice asparagus?
Oh, come on.
Once in a while, I get a craving for like
Like a nice dippy egg on a toasted bagel, and you bite it, and like the juice shoots out the back, and then you
look,
sop it. Put a
I'm
little
not
salt
saying
on
I
it.
don't once in a while get a
Oh,
craving.
bagel, toast, all that stuff. Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't once in a while get a craving, but I'm telling you, eggs have really left my.
Eggs try to make it. Eggs try to make their way into some dishes that maybe they shouldn't be around.
I can't tell you
Nothing
how
makes
much.
me more angry than egg and fried rice. I hate when there's egg and fried rice.
Oh, I don't mind
Bothers
that.
me.
Don't you
Bothers me.
You
need
like a
egg
nice
and fried
hard-boiled
rice?
egg in a Cobb salad?
I don't like
That I
that at
do
all.
like.
I don't like
That
a
I do
hard-boiled
like.
egg. In a
Really?
I love the what.
Big fan of the hard-boiled
I
egg.
hate the yolk of a hard-boiled egg.
Soft-boiled egg. Love it.
All right, we got to go to the phones. Okay, what's better than breakfast at dinner?
Nothing.
Lunch, the most versatile meal. Thank you. Everything is lunch. Thank you. All three at once. Lunch food is just superior. Okay, wow. 24-hour breakfast is stupid.
Breakfast for dinner.
Wow. When you're drunk and you go to the diner, you're not getting like a couple eggs and
Hold on here. Say it
Never.
there, guys.
Never?
I got to be
No.
honest. You two are doing really good
Lunch
here.
food exclusively
Based
for
on
me at the
type of
diner.
food, breakfast food is the best.
based on type of food breakfast is.
IHOP, Denny's, McDonald's, 24-hour breakfast menu. Need I say more? Oh my God, I've never been the first vote before. Okay.
Nothing comes close to McDonald's breakfast.
I'll stop
I
with
agree.
McDonald's.
McDonald's breakfast is throws the gauntlet down. It's the one breakfast food where I'm like, okay, I get
You
it.
can eat everything for dinner, but it's not the same eating dinner, lunch items for breakfast. Correct.
That's it. Yeah. That's
Dinner is the meal in most.
And just-
Dinner's the real meal I'm most awake for and generally enjoy the most.
lunch
Lunch is just used to get from point A to point B of a shitty workday.
Love it. Breakfast blows. Come
By the way, can I say this? No family's ever had an awkward lunch.
Come on, Oh, well.
No family's ever.
There's been
dinner. Dinner is the
awkward
meal.
lunch.
Dinner is the meal that all pain happens around. Breakups, family fights, all tension. You got to get together. The
gotta tell
in-laws
them
you don't
right
want to
before
see.
bed.
Not true. That happens at lunch.
100% true.
Breakfast is fake. Lunch is energizer. Dinner is required
is
for
fake.
survival. Biologically, I said that.
No way. Listen, when you're a kid and you wake up, what's
People
the
wait
first thing you're
all
thinking about?
day
It's
for
the
dinner.
cereal. You want Lucky Charms. You want Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You're having a rough. Oh man,
Dinner's
a
the king.
bagel. There's so many great.
No matter
breakfast
what's the best,
foods.
we all agree lunch is the worst.
Yes.
Dinner is the king. Breakfast is queen. Lunch is the jester. You don't start the day with a steak and mashed potatoes for a reason, babe. Breakfast.
Yep.
Uh,
Nice cup of coffee.
biscuits and gravy, country fried steak, and home fries is the greatest meal of all time. My wife's boyfriend likes breakfast, so I'll go with dinner. That's funny. Let's give that guy the
My
win.
mom's boyfriend.
That guy's great.
My wife's boyfriend.
Okay, follow at locked N, the letter N, loaded OD. All right, Mike, give your plugs. We got to do the humble pie segment.
At Mike Finoia, MikeFinoia. A bunch of dates on MikeFinoia.com. Comes the Time podcast I co-host with Oteil Burbridge from Dead & Company. Check it out.
Very cool.
All right, we got only 6,000 votes, almost 7,000. Light voting load today. Here we go.
Drum roll, Pimpy. Pimp's choosing dinner. Ooh.
God.
You know, I could see that. I could see that. Dinner coming in with nearly half at 49.3%. You got breakfast right there at 31.8%, and lunch in last place
How
at
do you-
18.9%.
I gotta tell you, I'm not surprised.
This makes me so mad right
That's
now.
how I would rank them.
He somehow weasels into a win every episode. I said on the text thread, you saw it, let's do breakfast versus dinner, and I just would have been on team dinner and I would have won. He goes, no, babe, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Then I go,
I'll read the text chain.
okay, then I'll do lunch, I guess. And
freedom.
he goes, ooh, I guess I could do dinner.
Let's
Ah!
Sal, breakfast versus dinner would be killer. We've never done either. I just checked. I said, wow, we've never done either. Did we do lunch versus anything? If not, a triple battle, breakfast, lunch, dinner may be cool. Joe answers with a snippy, bitchy no. Hence my exact words, in quotes, we've never done either of these.
Well, because I say we never did either. Then he goes,
This
we
is-
never did either.
and
I go,
that's when I
no,
put-
that's why I
So,
said
so this
exactly
is even
those
how he
words.
acts on text messages.
And that's when I
saying
put
that.
Ron Burgundy blown into a conch shell to start the fight.
I wrote back to him, take it easy, Slappy. And then Joe writes, quote unquote, I love a triple battle. Mike breakfast, me lunch, Sal dinner. That's out. That's what he typed. Okay.
Yeah. Also, give me credit that I said haha at the slappy thing, showing that I have a sense of humor.
Well, I'm going to give you credit for saying ha ha at the Slappy thing because I pointed out the fact that you were getting snippy for no reason.
I was being funny, Snippy.
All right.
And you were being funny back.
Well, I'm trying being funny now.
Slappy's not. I knew that I was coming into a loving situation.
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
and,
But
you know.
I just want to say, you heard the text message. I love it. Let's do triple. And he assigned us. And that's before anything was assigned.
All right. That's fine. It's just weird how you always kind of end up on the winning. It's just a little weird.
Well, I guess you shouldn't give me dinner and say you love the triple battle.
All right, fine, fair enough. Anyway, folks,
Let's be honest.
go ahead.
You pick who you're representing, right?
just give the.
This is why I like
just say
breakfast,
those-
because conversations like
Yes.
this don't happen at breakfast. This
you-
is a
but-
dinner.
Go
This is
ahead.
dinner
But
bullshit.
You
right
are
here.
a man. You are a man of your own free will, right? You pick who you're going to argue for. Okay, so maybe you're going to just reflect. Okay, make the change, Shimon.
All right.
What are we doing?
Say the line to close the show.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to do dates. I still love you. I still love you, babe.
I love you too.
De La forever.
Taste buds. They coming to the mic, talking about the food they hate, talking about the food they like. Two fools gonna fight, but only one food can be right. Taste buds, man, yeah, they